Books and coffee, that's all I need. Lost in a world of fantasy.
Hey pals, so this is my rundown of Summerween 2024. I've had a fantastic time doing this, and I hope anyone else that's joined in has had as much of a good time as I have. Okay, so let's go through the prompt, shall we? So we'll do a little rundown of the bingo board, which we'll put on the screen here so that you can see, and we'll check them off as we go. So first of all, I read Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyemide. I had to read this anyway for Paula's book club, which is called Pleasure Yourself. I will, of course, pop her Discord in the description below, so you can check it out if you want to. Yeah, so I read Ace of Spades. I love this author, and I think you've probably seen my reaction already, but I ended up giving this 4 stars, but I don't know that it's actually really a 4-star book. I think actually realistically it's more like a 3.5 book for me, because I just was a little bit disappointed. Now, granted, it is like the debut book, so maybe it's just that. Thinking about it, maybe it is just that it's the debut book, and maybe I haven't been forgiven enough. It's entirely possible, because there was so much about this book that the political sort of what do you call it? Why are words failing me? Do I even read? Anyway, you've seen my response. My feelings are pretty much the same. I just really don't want to give it 3.5. I want to give it 5 stars, and that's the problem. But anyway, moving on. Next I read, so this is Ever After, for the prompt that has 5 words in the title. Obviously, this is not a thriller or a horror or anything Halloween inspired, realistically, but I did have a deadline with this that ended up not being a deadline in the end, but I did trade in This Is Ever After. I think I picked something else for this one originally, and I traded this one in just so that I could make sure that I had it read in time for the live show that didn't happen. These things happen. Life be life in. But yeah, anyway, so This Is Ever After, I gave this 4.5 stars, but actually I think this is a 5-star for me, because I've carried on thinking about it afterwards. And this has already ended up in my mid-year freakout tag, so it had a big impression on me. Next up, I read This Summer Will Be Different. Again, this is not really a Summerween book, but I really wanted to read it, and it was for the B&K book club. Again, I will link them below so you can check them out if you want to. Yeah, this is by an author called Carly Fortune. I've never read from this author before, and I had a really good time with this. I've never read from this author before. I wanted to read it along with everybody in the B&K book club. We were reading it in sprints and things like that. So yeah, I really loved this book. I don't know if I updated you guys So I'll just go over my thoughts again, just in case. So I really love these characters, and like normally I'm not a big fan of so this does have some miscommunication in it, but I wouldn't say it's a full-on miscommunication trope, and I think that's what saved it really, because I'm not the biggest fan of miscommunication in romance. I feel like there's enough miscommunication in life, and it never bodes well. So yeah, I don't usually like it, but I didn't mind it in this instance for the simple fact that everything sort of worked out in a way that felt quite realistic, but at the same time quite mentally healthy as well, which is I think what we need to see more of in especially romance, but all genres realistically. But I feel like there's a lot of romance that leans quite heavy on the mentally not healthy choices and things like that. Which is fine to some degree, but I do think we need a little bit more balance out there, and this is a perfect example of that balance that I think we can have. I love these characters, I love them together, and I love them just as friends too, and I think that also made a big difference, because I think sometimes if you're like only liking a couple as a couple, or if you think that they shouldn't be together, then it kind of skews your perception of the book. And in this case I didn't have to balance that at all, because I like them in both settings, and I think it was a very different ending to what we used to see in romance. It was nice to see a different ending, that not everything has to end in this picture perfect way, and I won't say any more than that because it would be a spoiler, and if you haven't read it I highly recommend going and reading it. Okay, so I gave that one 5 stars. Loved it, think it's a great time, and I want a physical copy on my shelf, which just is proof that it's a 5-star. Okay, next I read The Secret Adversary by Agatha Christie. This one is for, is it a book club or a buddy read? It's in the Manor, so it's Leandra's Patreon. Yeah, it's the book club for the Only Christie chat. So yeah, and yeah, I had a great time with this as well. Yeah, okay, so I read a part of this outside, so that's what prompted fit for. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters, the names are fantastic. What are their names again? How can I keep forgetting them? Honestly, it makes no sense that I forget these names. Tommy and Tuppence. They are a funny pair that get up to mischief. They have very few qualms in life, and yeah, it shows in their decision making. There is espionage. There is it's fast. It's quite fast paced. It's quite a short book as well, and for a mystery, it feels very thriller. In fact, actually, yeah, it does come under the crime mystery, but it has that thriller feel to it when you're reading it, which I think if you are someone who's wanting to get into mystery, but you've always been a thriller person, then maybe this is the way in for you, because it's quite a complicated storyline for how simple it feels when you're reading it. But also it's very fast paced, And again, I can't say this enough, it is funny. And also, if you're from the UK or have any interest in sort of UK politics for whatever reason, then you'll really enjoy some of the banter around the politics of the time. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. There were obviously some problematic moments, as per any Agatha Christie, but I'm not going to dwell too much on them. I've chosen to read it, so it just is what it is. And yeah, if you are a Agatha Christie fan, haven't read this one yet, you definitely want to. If you are a thriller reader that's wanting to get into mystery, this is a great way in my opinion. And yeah, it was a good time. What did I give it? I gave it read a book outside. Where's the prompt? Oh, I haven't oh, because I didn't actually go outside, did I? I just sat by the window, so I haven't actually done that one, but I've read the book, so it's fine. It's fine. The important bit is done. Next, I read Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. This filled the prompt for Night Sky on the cover. This was a reread for me. We read in the Sibs Book Club, which is a book club that I host with Beatrice from Beatrice's Book Nook. We read Angie Kim's latest book, Happiness Falls, and then a few of us decided that we were going to have Miracle Creek as a bonus buddy read for in the book club. I think the first time I read it, I maybe wasn't in the right headspace to be able to allow some of the more emotional moments and aspects of the book in enough to really absorb them and think about them. And I would say actually this is a book that, although I highly recommend it, it's definitely 5 stars, 100%. I would recommend you read it. However, especially if you are a parent of special needs children, or if you are a parent, well, just generally a parent, or someone who finds it very difficult to handle bad things happening to children, or even adults to some degree. This is something to go in a little bit tentatively with, and take care of yourself. Angie Kim is always going to be able to get me right in the feels, because of the topics that she has are very close to my heart. But what I love about the way Angie Kim writes is that she shows all the facets of it. So for instance, from the parents' point of view in this book, it shows how caring and how much effort goes into the care of children that have extra needs. But it does also show the flip side, the frustration, the anger that can come into it, the short-tempered, the tired, the drained emotional mess that you can become, because it never stops. It never stops as a parent. But then add extra needs on top of that, you've got that extra never stopping, and it really does take it out of you. It's the work, like our kids are everything, but it's hard, as anything that's worth it in life. It's hard. So I appreciated the rawness of it, the honesty of it. I'm not saying every parent does or says the things that have been said in this book, but I'm saying that I think most parents can, if they're honest, can connect with the feelings behind it, if that makes sense. Not necessarily the actions, but and I'm not saying that any of the some of these actions are just wrong, but at the same time I think it is worth looking at, because it's something that I feel that can be prevented, like these horrible things happening to children as a result of families being on their own and not having the support that's needed, means that these actions are preventable to a large degree, is what I'm saying. I hope that makes some sense outside of my head. Okay, and the last book that I read was a good old T. Kingfisher book, A House with Good Bones, and this fit the prompt, read a thriller or horror. And this comes under the horror genre, as I think most or all of T. Kingfisher's books do. I love T. Kingfisher. And I did give this one a good, hang on, which one is that? I gave this one 4 stars. Oh, I wasn't supposed to be giving ratings.
Oh, it's too late. You can't stop it now.
Well, that plan went out the window real quick. Anyway, 4 stars. It was a good book, good solid 4 stars. But I was a little bit disappointed with the ending. Honestly, I can't really talk about why, because if you haven't read it, it would be a spoiler. Let me see if I can talk around it somehow. Okay. So the way it ended, it was going to be one thing or another thing, and I would have preferred the other thing. that didn't really help at all. It was super creepy though, and it is it follows a woman who comes back to her childhood home, and her mum is acting really weird, and she's concerned, as a daughter would be, as a child would be in that situation. Yeah, so the mum's acting weird, and then things are weird in the house, but she thinks it's just her mum being weird, and then slowly she starts realising that actually it's not just her mum that's weird, the house is weird too, and other things are weird. Basically everything is weird. Yeah, and what's causing the weirdness is this one thing or another, and I wish it had been the other thing. But it was a fun time finding out. Which is why it's still got 4 stars. Okay, and then finally we have the prompts that don't require a book to be read. So we had watch a scary movie. I watched Zombieland because I'm a chicken shit and didn't want to actually watch something properly scary. So and Zombieland still, like, even though I've watched it many times, it still makes me jump. So I figure that counts. And then what else? We had listened to a Halloween playlist, which I did do. Which one did I pick in the end? I just went on Spotify and is there a way to see? Oh, there. I just picked Halloween Party. Yeah, and we had A Sign from Above, Lady Gaga, Bad Position by Cobra, Erotic, Electronic, who's that by? Doesn't actually say. Good Ones, again doesn't say who it's by, Bloody Valentine, Judas, Pink Venom, Black Eye, Manic, You Make Me something, hang on, You Make Me Feel Like It's Halloween. Drums featuring Kim Petras and Madhouse. There was a few more, but I think I only probably listened to half of it while I was doing other stuff. And it was a fun time, actually. It reminded me that I don't listen to music as much as I would like to. And then finally we have Bake a Fall inspired treat. I don't bake.
That's not the question. It's about if you cook something, is it good?
I can boil eggs.
Nope. So I got a donut from Timmy's and it was delicious. So that is my experience with Summerween 2024. I really enjoyed it. I will likely do it again. However, I will not choose to do six readathons in a month next year, so we'll see if this ends up at the top of the list or not, because honestly at the moment, if I had to tier rank the readathons that I'm doing this month, it's kind of third or fourth. So I probably wouldn't get done again. So we'll see. Time will tell. I do recommend it though. Yeah, I guess it will just depend on timing. If it overlaps with the two that come above this next year, then I won't get to do it again. But who knows? Time will tell. Anyway, love you. Bye.
Bye, love you.
Grab a cup of